Berkeley Farms YouTube channel. Welcome to my greenhouse. If you watched the intro video, you saw that we are kind of on this journey to start a market garden this year. It is, actually today is March 1st of 2021. And so this spring into summer, we're going to start a market garden. And I kind of wanted to document that journey. I want to take you along with us. I have a visitor out here. I'll show you our visitor. Hold on. Let me see if I can. I'm not real good with this yet. Hold on. See if I can figure this out. Oh. Let's see. He always gets a little bit offended when he's not allowed in here. Yeah, so we're just wanting to take you along on this market garden journey and just show you the process that we go through. So we're out here in my greenhouse, and y'all, I have started probably over 2,000 seeds. Mainly tomatoes, quite a few peppers. Careful, that might tip over, silly. Quite a few peppers, lots of basil. That's kind of where we're at right now. That was not the plan at all. That was not the plan. I think if I go back and look at my notes, the plan was several hundred starts is what I had planned. And let me just tell you, this is the first year I've been able to use this greenhouse. My dad built this, essentially. I helped a little, my mom helped, my grandma helped, my husband helped, but my dad built this greenhouse for me. This was a vision in my mind that honestly I never really thought was going to be feasible. So I told my dad that I wanted this greenhouse, and he made it happen. I'll have to show you. I'll have to give you a little tour of it. It's amazing. This is the first year I've had this greenhouse in use. First time I was actually able to be in this space planting, and things got out of control, and I started over 2,000 seeds when the plan was maybe a few hundred. So here we are. I take full responsibility for what I've done. I know that I've got a lot of work in terms of keeping these seedlings nice and healthy and up potting them and all that, but I'm here for it. I'm going to do it because this is my greenhouse. This is my dream come true right here. And as long as all of this stuff can happen in this space, I'm here for it, and I'll do it all day long. But why did I start so many? First of all, because I totally blew my plant out of the water, and I just got plant happy, and I planted all the seeds. But also because I'm doing a plant sale. This will be my third year at the plant sale here in Central Arkansas. I'll tell you a little bit. I'll link it below. Okay, I think that's what you say in YouTube videos. I'll link it below. So if you're in Central Arkansas and you want to hit up a stinking awesome plant sale, we all grow organically. We're all local farmers. I'll link that below. It's at Bell Urban Farm, and it's awesome. So a lot of these are going to go to the Bell Urban Farm plant sale this April, and then a lot of them I will plant myself for my own personal garden, and then also our market garden.
Oh, I found a magic stick.
Oh, a magic stick! That's awesome. What you got?
Magic stick.
A magic stick? What's magic about them?
Like they do that
Oh, that's awesome.
and do this.
Well, that's really neat. Cool, dude. Okay. What you gonna do? You're funny. Okay.
No, you are fun.
Oh, okay. Potentially do another plant sale here at my house, a smaller version for any leftovers that I have. Okay, so I thought I would just go through and show you what I'm personally starting in terms of tomatoes, peppers, and for now I've only got one variety of basil going. That's the Japanese basil. I'll probably start some others. I just have not, when you start 1,500 tomato seeds, you don't have time to plant basil. So let me show you what I've started. Some of these I don't prefer, I don't like, and I don't plan on planting. I started them solely because I know that they sell well at the plant sale. I know other people like them. So that's kind of, if you're going to do a plant sale, that's something you have to keep in mind is don't just start the things that you like. You have to start what you know others prefer. This is Brad's Atomic Grape. I've actually never grown this ever. I'm growing it solely to sell at the plant sale. I know people request this one all the time. It sells out all the time. So actually I started 2 full packets, seed packets of it. I may save one for myself, probably just for my own personal garden, just to try, because I've never even tasted it, honestly. I can't speak to it because I've never tried it. My favorite, personal favorite cherry tomato variety is the blueberry cherry. And I'm pretty sure this is Wild Boar Farms blueberry. I love this one. Anytime anybody asks me about a cherry tomato variety, this is the one I always tell people about, blueberries. It's so good, very sweet, extremely prolific. Seems to do really well against the pests and the heat and all that. This is one of the ones that lasts the longest in my garden. This is one I've not ever grown, but I've heard a lot about, Kellogg's Breakfast. I will probably save this one for my own personal garden. I think I'm starting in the market garden this year. I'm only going to start things that I've grown in the past that I know do well for me and my climate and my personal gardening practices. Cherokee Purple. I started quite a few of these. What, baby? Huh? In just a minute, okay? It's probably, I may have started more Cherokee Purple than anything else because it is a very popular variety. People know this tomato. People are going to want to buy it. One of my favorites is the Brandywine. So I've planted several of those. This is another popular one. People, they know the name Brandywine, so I expect this one to sell pretty well at the plant sale. And I like it. They grow nice big fruits. They're mild. They're really good. They're kind of sweet. Not very acidic in my opinion. Brandywine, love a good Brandywine. Also grew or started a yellow Brandywine. I like this one as well. I suspect that one will sell well as well. My all-time favorite tomato variety is the Abe Lincoln. They produce a huge fruit. Probably the biggest tomato I've ever grown is an Abe Lincoln. The taste is really good. It's not very acidic in my opinion. It's milder. It's just really good. It's very meaty. It doesn't have a lot of seeds. I grew this one as well for the first time last year, German Pink. It is also a really big one. It has a really good flavor. It did really well for me. Started quite a few of those, German Pink. I haven't 100% decided what tomato varieties I'm going to put in the market garden. I'm on the fence about that, but I may put a few of these in there. This is another popular one. I think everybody knows this one. Dr. Witchy, I don't even know how you say it, but I've grown this one for several years now. Really good, pretty prolific, nice big fruit, really good flavor, really meaty. I do recommend that one. And then the Black Krim. I don't like it a whole lot. I'm not a big Black Krim fan, but I know that it's going to sell well at the plant sale, so that's why I grew it. It is a slicer tomato. Are you watering? You're doing so good. And then a couple of new varieties to me that I ordered for the first time this year. A Carbon. I know a friend of mine grew this. I say no, I'm pretty sure they grew this last year for the plant sale and it did well. So I decided to give that a shot. It looks good. It looks nice and meaty. It had good reviews on the Baker Creek website. And then, honestly, I can't remember. There was a reason I ordered this one. It was probably for the reviews. I bet that I saw that it grew well in my zone, which is 7B. So it's the Woods Famous Brimmer. That's probably why I bought this. I only bought one packet. I started some. I'll test those out. I'll test both of these out in my own personal garden, not the market garden, most likely. But yeah, that's where I'm at. I also have some of these yellow pears. These were a free seed last year. These are super prolific. They do very well. They have a good taste as well. I didn't start any of these. I don't know why. Probably because I already started a crap ton of seeds. So yeah, that's where I'm at on tomatoes. Nothing has germinated yet. I just started. I'm behind. So we had that big snowstorm in Arkansas the week that I was supposed to start my tomato seeds. Did not want to do that. I mean, we were like, temperatures were like -2, -3. Never experienced anything like that. So didn't want to risk starting them with such low temperatures, not knowing how well the greenhouse was going to hold heat. So I was a little behind on that. So nothing's germinated yet. My peppers, on the other hand, have germinated. They were doing well. I've even up-potted some of them. I started those guys inside because peppers need quite a bit more heat to germinate than stuff like tomatoes. So for the peppers, Let's see, what did I start? This several new varieties to me. So I did a lemon spice jalapeno. We really like hot things in our household. So I tried this one out for the first time. These germinated quick. If you want a pepper that germinates really quick, I would recommend these. These germinated maybe in like 6 or 7 days, whereas a lot of times peppers take longer than that. These were the first ones to pop up, and they have done really well so far. What else did I start? I started this one, never grown it before, a Tabasco pepper. I've heard they are extremely prolific. That's why I'm growing these. I may actually try to put these in the market garden just because I've heard really good things about them. I know I just said I'm not going to put anything that I've never grown before, but I may try this just because I'm hearing that they're extremely prolific. Shishito pepper, grew these last year. These are good. These are really good to roast. Very mild, no heat to them whatsoever. They grew really well here in Arkansas where it's hot and humid. So I started quite a few of those. Those sold really well at the plant sale last year as well. Habanada. These are supposed to be like habanero flavor without the heat. I don't know if they are, it says without any heat, so they're not supposed to be hot. Habanada, never grown them, don't know what to tell you about them. Sugar Rush Peach, grew these last year, and everything I was told was that they weren't just real hot, they had a little kick to them, but these suckers are hot, y'all. Like, I don't know if I'm just a weenie or what, but I thought these were very hot. Sugar Rush Peach, they took a while to get going in my garden. They were the last out of Shishitos, the Sugar Rush Peach. Oh gosh, I grew so, I'd have to go back and look. I grew like 4 or 5 different varieties. These were the last to mature, really, and be ready. So it took long into the summer. Towards the end of the summer was when these were finally maturing and ready to eat, and they were hot. They were very, very hot. I think these are called Corbassi. I've grown these for years and years. I did not order any seeds this year. I had a few seeds left in this packet, so I went ahead and started those. I like these a lot. They're very mild, no heat to them whatsoever, and they're very prolific. So easy to grow. If you're not good with peppers, I highly recommend these and the Shishito. Those are all tomatoes. And here's the thing. These are 50 cell trays that I've planted them in. There's 1 seed per cell. So ideally we would get 50 little seedlings popping up. Most likely that's not going to happen, which is fine. But I'm going to have to pot up all of these little seedlings that do pop up, and when it's time, I'm gonna have to pot up all of these into a bigger container. And I think I got 4-inch pots, which it's gonna be pretty big. That's gonna take quite a bit of soil to fill those pots. So I don't know, I may have to kind of rethink that now that I've got so many seedlings. These guys down here are peppers that I've already potted up. I'm trying to stay ahead as much as I can, just because I know when the high tunnel gets built and when it's time to pot up all these tomatoes, that I'm going to have my work cut out for me. I've got to get, the beds ready in the high tunnel. We've got to run water to the high tunnel. So I'm trying to stay ahead of the game as much as possible. What's going on over here? What's going on? What are you doing? What are you doing? Oh, goodness. Okay. So, yeah, these are all my peppers. I still got to pot up some of them. The ones that I have potted up are doing really, really well. I'm very pleased with them. I've got to pot up all these guys here, and then I've got another tray in the house. All of my peppers that I've started have been started on heat mats. If you have issues starting peppers and you've never tried to start them on heat mats, I would highly, highly, highly recommend doing that, and it's a total game changer. And then these over here are basil. So let me show you those. I'll show you how I starting the basil, which was here. I was putting 1 to 2 little seeds per cell here, and it was taking forever. If you've ever seen a basil seed, they're teeny-tiny little things. And when I got done with that tray, I was like, forget that, I'm not doing that anymore. And I did, this is probably the lazy man's way of doing it, but I filled a tray up. Well, first I poked holes in the bottom of a tray, filled it up with soil, put it in another tray to catch any water when I watered it, and then just heavily sowed all my little basil seeds here. I did it this way last year. It did fine. They separate really well. They do fine with that. And then I'll let them grow a little bit longer, And then I will pot them up as well, and I will likely put them in the little 6-cell trays that you commonly see, and sell them that way at the plant sale. That's the plan. Thanks for watching, y'all. This was fun. We're just going to be here waiting on seedlings to germinate, and then we'll take you along on the next step of the process. We'll see you soon. Did you make a giant mess when I was doing that video?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am.
Are we going to clean it up?